Okay, I'm back. Unfortunately, my phone died, but I wanted to carry that conversation on because it's important. And it's not just important to me, it's important to my community, you know, the black community, people of color as well. I will touch bases on them too, and also working class white people. And I'll touch bases on that too. But back on the unity side, it has to change with us. I cannot express that enough. We have to start loving ourselves, breaking these generational curses. I mean, like, you can't blame, well, you can. You can blame, some white people for a lot of things because technically they're the ones ruling right now. But we have been brainwashed to a point to where we feel like we cannot do any better, and we feel like we have to accept crumbs. Crumbs. What does a rat do when it sees crumbs? You think it's just going to eat the crumbs and just scurry away? Absolutely not. It's going to keep looking for the cheese. Us, we don't do that. We give up. We keep going and we get scared, and that's not what life is about. That's not what my ancestors fought so hard for. I am very much aware that I do have African ancestry, I have Native American ancestry, and I have white ancestry. I'm very much aware of that. However, I'm talking about the black side, my African side of me. And people tend to be in denial about the fact, well, I'm black, I'm not African. Yeah, you know, that is true, but you still come from slaves, from the diaspora. Like, you still come from slaves, regardless. It does not matter. Even I was raised to say that I'm not African, I'm black, you know? And that's another thing. We need to stop being ashamed of saying that we're African because it's not, I mean, what does black come from? Yeah, we've been here for some odd years, some longer than others, but we still come from the motherland of Africa. No matter how mixed you look, doesn't matter. But we have to start educating ourselves and being more loving towards one another. Shouldn't have anything to do with color anymore. We live in a more evolved world where color should not matter anymore, especially within the black community, where we are constantly interracially dating and procreating with other races. So, of course, with that being said, you're going to have different looks. You're going to have different skin tones. This is nothing new. So, for this not being anything new, it should not still be a light skin, dark skin thing. It should not be, oh, he got that job because he's lighter than me. It should be, he got that job because of the simple fact he had the qualifications. Yes, there is a such thing as light skin privilege, but for those who do accept or benefit from light skin privilege should also be okay with saying, you know what, that's okay. I want to take the harder route. No, I'm good. I don't feel like I really deserve this. Instead, my darker counterpart may deserve this as, before me. What's wrong with that? Even me, even though I don't feel like I'm that light skinned, a lot of people consider me being that way. I don't feel like I'm light enough, but I'm not dark either. I feel like I'm in between, but even I have benefited from it as well. And when I noticed that I did benefit from it, I most definitely brought attention to people that may have been working at an establishment longer, or, hey, they were first, or, it just all depends on the person. We have to stop thinking selfishly. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if it wasn't for lighter tone people, a lot of dark skinned people would not have the choices that have the benefits that they have actually today because of light skin privilege. So because of light skin privilege, we should be helping everybody out. Like, and that's the thing, like in the black community, it's like crabs in the barrel. Nobody wants to help nobody out. So how can we complain about oppression and police brutality if we don't love ourselves? We don't even take care of ourselves on a day-to-day basis. We see every other race do it but us. Yes, they may have some Mexicans and some white people that may not always have each other's backs, but within us, because we've gone through the most, not to say other races don't, but the things we've been through, we should definitely be more loving towards one another. It should not be we decide to unify because of a man dying in broad daylight with during police brutality. It should not be that. We should be unifying regardless. We should be unifying for black businesses, educating our children. I mean, educating our friends and family members to do better. It shouldn't just be for negativity. And here's the thing. It's not enough people saying it, and it's not enough people noticing it because we are so brainwashed into thinking it's normal to treat each other like shit because other people treat us like shit that we do it within ourselves. It's not normal, and it needs to stop. I'm not sure who is going to click on this video, but whoever clicks on this video, I just hope you end up getting some type of insight with this video and other videos that I post, because it's a wake-up call for all of us. It really is. And God told me to do these videos. I didn't want to do them. I really, really did not want to do them. But God says, stop being scary and just go ahead and do it. You don't know who you might reach, who might be the next leader, who might be a business owner, who might decide to stop thinking from a poverty mindset. You don't know. And since we are very much visual learners and we don't really read, YouTube is the best outlet to teach somebody. That's what happened to me. But, also, I want to touch bases on the fact that it's not just, black people unifying. We need to unify with our allies, Not every white person is bad. Not every Hispanic is bad. Matter of fact, from what I've seen a lot of white people actually joining forces with us, and they don't get that credit. Those white people need to get that credit. It doesn't need to be shunned that, they're white. Oh, George Floyd died with a white officer. That is an officer. Yes, that is a white officer at that, but our white cousins and brothers and sisters, they've been with us too. Along with the Hispanics as well. Not a lot of Hispanics, but some Hispanics, and we need to really take notice of them as well. Because at the end of the day, those are working class citizens, like working class white people. They are on the same level as black people. It's just that they have a little bit more of an advantage because they're white. And then you have working class Hispanics, like they go through the same struggles as us. It's just not televised. Just not televised, and actually they get treated probably a little bit worse than we do. You know, they go through immigration laws, and yeah, they go through it all. So we need to join forces with those people, you know, and not to say that they haven't gone through as much as we, because they more than likely have, but we have to love ourselves, unify within ourselves, and love our neighbors as well, that are willing to get arrested for us, that are willing to fight for us. I was watching George Floyd's funeral, and the first thing the white guy said was, "I know you black people don't want me here." And in a way, he was correct, but in another way, it's just like, if you're an ally, why not be here? It should not be like that. If he knows he has the purest intentions in being in George Floyd's funeral, that should not have been said. But, you know, me being a black person, I appreciated him saying that, because he knows what's going on outside of those four walls of that church. He understands. And he has a lot of empathy. So it's like, we have to, even with working class white people and working class Hispanics, like, we have to join forces with them a little bit more often. It shouldn't just be a time of crisis either. We should be supporting each other. You know, because it may come a time where, you know, the revolution gets really, really hectic. And we're going to need those allies, and they're going to need us as their allies too. I'm just being honest. I'm just being really, really honest, because if you're thinking this is going to end here with the protesting, this, that, and the third, it's not. It's not going to go away. God told me to tell you that this is the revolution. Within every generation, there's a revolution. I'll repeat that for you again. Within every generation is a revolution. And usually they are not peaceful. This is just the tip of the iceberg, people. Just the tip, not the whole thing. So, we definitely need to unify. You know, I know I did not want to do this video, you know, and I hope it does not get taken down. I really hope it doesn't, because this video needs to reach people, and people need to know that we need to unify as a people against our oppressors, especially if they are not going to change peacefully while we're changing peacefully for them. Malcolm X, as I will quote him, by any means necessary. It's getting to that point, people. Just because we are out here protesting on the front lines and posting awareness on our social media pages and rioting and destroying shit, guess what they're doing? They're still killing you and me out there. It's not changing. It's not changing at all. And what happens when someone keeps poking and poking and poking and poking? What happens? You think they're going to gently poke back when they get tired? No. They're going to explode. And all I have to say is, before it gets to that point, let's focus on unifying ourselves, regrouping, unifying ourselves, loving each other, being peaceful towards one another, and then handle what's going on later on. We have to love each other first. What happened to the love? We don't love each other. And before our last days, man, there's so many people that need to repent on their ways and change themselves as people. I don't know why God wanted to use me as his vessel tonight to talk to you about unifying ourselves. I don't know, ever since I've been praying and reading the Bible on my phone, I swear to God, it's just like God has been opening my eyes to many blessings. Many blessings. And he's been healing me. God wanted me to tell you that we need to unify as a people. And we need to prepare ourselves for the worst to come. And to also straighten our face in him. Because he has not forgotten his children. He's coming back for his children. He definitely is. And he sees what's going on with all of us. But only a few chosen are able to relate his messages and reach the masses. So if you've reached this video, prepare yourself. Invite that love in your heart. And be loving towards your neighbor. Hey, be loving towards people that you haven't even talked to in a while. Check up on them. See how they're doing. You'll be surprised what a checkup can do for somebody. You know? Especially if you guys are on good terms. Even if you're not on good terms, just say hey. Especially if it's been some time. You don't know. You never know what that person is going through. But one thing I will say, if you text, you call, and you text, it's only so much a person can do. Don't chase after that person because naturally they will come back. Because they will remember how good of a person you were to that person. Because you didn't have to check up on them. Sometimes you have to give people space. But yeah, check up on your people. Love your people. It's not always about you. And also, you know, we need to start protecting ourselves. You can get licensed for a gun online. You can get licensed for a gun online. I'm not just saying this for black people because I know it may be some, you know, different races of people that might come across this video. We all need to protect ourselves. By far, I am not a racist person at all. But, of course, I'm going to talk about the racial group that I am a part of. I feel like I look predominantly black. So that is the party that I'm going to speak to. Mostly. You know, like, I do own other parts of me as well, but I'm definitely going to, you know, talk to my black people, of course. Because we are the ones that need the most help. The most help. Not to say other races of people don't, but we are the most lost people. We are just now starting to wake up, but a lot of us are still asleep. Still asleep. God did not. You know what? You know what's so weird? And I'm gonna wrap this video up, but you know what's so weird? Is that I've marched before. I marched 5 years ago. I think it was for Sandra Bland or Eric Gardner. If I'm not mistaken, I don't quite remember, but I do know I marched. And the weird thing about this time was I wanted to march, but it was just so weird how God said, it is not your time. You were not meant to go out there in the front lines. I have another job for you. And I said to myself, but you know, I'm not really a strategic person. I'm emotional, you know. I am a thinker, but I ain't very emotional. I act first and ask questions last. I've always been like that, but God has been teaching me lately to temper my emotions, and I just didn't know why. He was preparing me for this, to talk to you. He was. Because I would have never did this on my own. God told me he wanted me to spread his message and let the people know that the revolution is here and God is here and he sees everything. And to prepare you. Because there's going to be some worse days than this. And if you haven't gotten close with God, I feel sorry for you. He helped heal me from the things that I was going through. I'm not fully healed, but I'm getting there. And I listen to him. When he tells me not to do something, I don't do it. Because God knows I wanted to go out there on the front lines in March. I don't know what God saved me from. I probably could have got shot with a rubber bullet or got arrested, put in jail, or I could have died. I don't know. Anything could have happened to me. But he told me, it is not your time to go out there. You have a different job. I'm saying this because, and I know I hop from one extreme to the next. I'm sorry, I have ADHD. Bear with me. But I just want to get it out. I'm saying this to say, when you start strengthening your relationship with God or whatever religion you practice, you can hear him. He will talk to you. You will be his vessel. And to me, there's no better purpose than that. No better purpose. So I hope whoever is watching this video, if you have strayed from God and you've been hurt and you were lost and you just didn't know where, if you were coming or going, he loves you and he sees everything you're going through. Everything. Every tear you cry. He feels that. And it's going to be better days. You just have to have faith. We cannot live without faith. We can't. The air we breathe in our lungs, scientists can't figure out why we need air to breathe. Some things science can't explain, and to me, that is God. That is God. And I don't really care what you believe in. Higher source, nature, whatever. This is created by God, baby. This is your time to get closer to God. Because he's coming. He already here. He already here. He is protecting the ones he chose to help fight this war we have going on right now. Because it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Yes, some of the ones he chose are going to be sacrificed. But the ones he chose to live through this, that are not on the front lines, they have a job too. Matter of fact, God's children, all of us, He has assigned a job for us. It's just up to you to open your heart, your mind, and your soul to Him. Because He'll expose it to you. God loves you. Always know that. No matter how much bad you think you've done, He loves you. Just pray on it. Just pray on it. Bye now.